What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Dennis Nderitu, live at Nderitu Basketball HQ. Yeah, man, I'm excited and I'm back with this stream. It's good to be back here. It's good to be back. I'm just so happy these NBA five. I'm just happy to keep track of these NBA finals and also give my 2 cents on them. I know, yeah. I mean, if you've been watching closely earlier today, I was in a stream with my main man, George Carson, JC3. I was in his live stream right after the game. I watched the game, and yeah, man, please be sure to, watch that video. I posted it today. It's titled 2021 NBA Finals Live Stream by George Carson, JC3, the ball, the YouTuber, the general. Just make sure to, check it out. And I mean, we met. So I was there. We discussed. We chopped it up the game with him. There was another guy, Philip, and Mark. We were there. We were there going out to the game, and yeah, man, all that great stuff. So I just said I'd push my life to this time, and you know, reconvene in this war room, and just talk a bit about the game. So Moses will be joining us shortly. Let me just make sure to send him the invite link real quick so you can, let's just be together and let's talk about the game. So without further ado, let me just send these links up real quick. Bear with me for a moment. Be right back. Yeah, man. So I'm back. I've also shared this link to my. I've shared it to the comment section, so anyone who wants to, come in and just chop it up with the game, and yeah, man, all that great stuff. So let me make sure everybody has it, and so you can reconvene this meeting. So that's that. So I talked about the game in the morning. It was a pretty good stream. I highlighted some important points of what I saw about the Bucks game, and it was a pretty good game for the Phoenix Suns. Credit to the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker. He was balling hard. He was doing his thing. He had a pretty good outing. Then you got Chris Paul. Chris Paul just knows how to do his usual thing. CP3 will always be CP3. And yeah, man. I mean, it was a pretty good game for the Phoenix Suns. So although my Bucks, I'm rooting for the Bucks in this series. I just want them to win, but they're down 0-2, and it's gonna be a tall ask to see if the Bucks can pull it off. And yeah, man, all that thing. I mean, me seeing the Bucks like this is not a good. It's not a good thing because I mean, being down 0-2, the Phoenix Suns are only 2 games away to win these NBA finals. But the Suns were playing at home, so they have to go on the road. So I'm very confident the Bucks can steal at least 2 games in this series if they keep their head into it. I just hope they don't fall prey to you know not being able to follow through in them plays. But the routine in these streams, we just gotta look at you got to look at the box score. You got to look at the summary of this matchup and look at how just make some highlights on what these guys did on the court. So let me just go through the matchup summary real quick for this game two. So this game ended 118-108. The Suns won this game by 10 points. It wasn't a blowout. This game was pretty close, but the Suns managed to pull out with this game, and yeah, man. I mean, they just did what they had to do. So without further ado, let me just get into it. So Devin Booker was the best player for the Suns in Game Two, and finished with 31 points, while also making quite a few clutch buckets in the fourth quarter. And CP3 also delivered a strong performance in with 23 points and 8 assists. CP3 being CP3. And DeAndre Ayton had 10 points and 11 rebounds, but he also added 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. I mean, DeAndre Ayton, although he didn't have a big scoring night, he just did what he had to do. And Jay Crowder also had a double double, 11 points, 10 boards. And Mikal Bridges impressed with 27 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, the Suns team just, especially Mikal Bridges with his 27 points. I mean, he outscored Chris Middleton. It was a really bad sight for me to watch because he outscores one of those guys in the. He outscored them. He outscored a guy like Chris Middleton, a guy who has made 2 All-Star teams, while Mikal Bridges has not made. He is yet to make an All-Star team, but he lost this game. He lost. He lost in that matchup. But anyway, moving forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo had carried the Bucks after posting 42 points and 12 rebounds, but he lacked support from his teammates. This is what I'm saying. Chris Middleton only had 11 points, and Drew Holiday finished with 17 points and 7 dimes, despite shooting 33% from the field. Pat Connaughton had 14 points and 4 trays off the bench. So you can see Giannis was just doing his thing on the court, and it seems it wasn't enough in this case. So yeah, man, the Bucks just they just fell. Giannis just came in. He balled out. The previous game he got 20 and 11, and you know this game, Giannis came in strong, came in pretty. He just did what he had to do on the court. So it wasn't enough. His 42 points. At some point I was watching the game. He was really asking for the ball. He was given the ball at some possessions. He was scoring. But Chris Middleton was pretty cold in this game, and I really didn't like his performance. He can't come from scoring 29 points to just scoring 11 points in your next game in the NBA Finals. That screams inconsistency to me, and doesn't sit well with me. So he has to, he. I mean, Chris Middleton has to get back in this game. He has to. So yeah, man. I mean, that was that game. And let me just go through the highest scoring players per team. The game leaders: Giannis Antetokounmpo 42 points to Devin Booker's 31 points. Giannis Antetokounmpo led in the rebounds department, 11 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton 11 rebounds. Chris Middleton 8 assists, and also Chris Paul tied with 8 assists. And also in the blocks department, we got Brooke Lopez. He had 2 steals to DeAndre Ayton's 3 steals. Giannis Antetokounmpo 3 blocks. DeAndre Ayton 2 blocks. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, Giannis just did his thing, and it wasn't enough for the Bucks. So let me just let in Moses real quick to see if we can chop it up with him. So Moses, come through.
Yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up? Uh,
What's up, bro?
I don't know what to say, man. The Suns are looking like they're gonna win this. They're gonna win this championship. I don't know what to say, man. The Bucks they let me down. Middleton and Drew Holiday just didn't do enough. And the Giannis came up with the performance that we were talking about last time. But what more? What more do you want from Giannis at this point?
I mean, Giannis did what he has to do. I mean, he bounced back from that game. He did what he had to do. But Chris Middleton, he had a very poor outing. The previous game that they lost, he had 29 points. He was leading scorer. Then in this game, he pulled off a very piss poor performance, scoring 11 points. But I want to give credit to Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was hustling. I watched the game. He was hustling. He was hustling back on defense. I talked about this in the previous stream when I mentioned that if the shot isn't dropping, the defense has to remain constant. He tried.
Mm.
He tried in the defensive side, but the other team, the other Bucks, other actually. I have no flack with Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, he just tried his best. But the other Bucks
Mm.
roster, man, they were a letdown, especially Chris Middleton leading the charge. I mean, just very hard to watch.
And and a player like Brook Lopez, the Budenholzer keeps putting him in because of his offense, because the defense part is not, he's really a weak link. So putting him in for the offense and he comes up with a 8 point dud, you're looking at it like, what are you giving me on the court? You're not giving me anything. you know. At this point, you're not giving me anything. PJ Tucker, his number is always going to be, he's always going to score the kind of points. That's not his game. But, sure, Drew Holiday really, did well on defense, really put in a decent defensive performance. But, I'm expecting more from him. At least a 20-point game from him would have been, sufficed for me. I'm not saying 17 is so bad, but, I'm looking at him. I'm grouping him in the same way I'm grouping Chris Middleton. Both of them for me really needed to just show up. Just show up. At least we're expecting a 20 point from each, and then this game shouldn't have ended the way it ended. The Bucks should have at least put up a fight, and I don't think it was
I mean,
enough. I don't think they did enough. Yeah,
mostly just to add on, right? In the second
yeah,
half, there was this
yeah,
10-point lead that the Phoenix Suns maintained throughout the second half.
yeah,
It was 10
yeah,
points, 13 points, 10 points, 13 points. The Bucks just couldn't, get tie up the game. I mean, it was just 10 points, 10 points all through. They did nothing.
yeah,
I mean, the Bucks just did. But Mike Budenholzer just didn't make any adjustments. I feel like I actually mentioned it in a stream that I had with my guy Josh Carson JC3. He had a stream right after the game, and I mentioned
yeah,
this. I mentioned this in that stream. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean Mike Budenholzer, like he doesn't know how to make in-game adjustments. And there's another guy in that stream that mentioned,
mm,
the Suns organization, the coaching staff, right? Like come in with
yeah,
the notepad, they come with their things. Instead of having the whiteboard, they also have their
yeah,
own notes and timeouts. They have their plays, but with the Bucks, they don't have anything. They only have the whiteboard. So it's like they're just doing it. They're just winging it. Whereas the Phoenix Suns,
sticking.
they're
It's like
planning
sticking to the
everything.
game, sticking to the game plan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Suns know how to stick to the game plan, but when you look at a team like the Bucks, they're just winging it. They're like, just give Giannis the ball, just give Chris Middleton the
Yeah,
ball. It's like they don't have like a
yeah,
clear cut way to run an offense, and it's really killing their it's really killing their play because if they had such if they had like such plays drawn up for timeouts, um, they will be able to overcome that 10-point deficit. But they didn't. I mean, that was the issue for me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Giannis came through with a performance that is going to go down as one of his best. It was a really awesome, especially on that third quarter, that run that he had. It's one of the most legendary runs in playoff history. I think it's on par with Kobe and LeBron on a quarter basis. I don't know how much he dropped
Yes,
in that quarter. How much did he drop?
I think it was
I'm not sure. I forgot.
let me. I mean, he's he. Let me check. Let me pull up that stat real quick. I mean, so
On the
most
third
points in a
quarter.
finals quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, in the third quarter, he had 20 points.
Yeah.
He leads Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. This Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
he had 19 points in 2010, and also prime LeBron James 19 points in 2014 when he was with the Miami Heat. So you can see Giannis. Giannis he's entering his prime. I don't like
Yeah.
the way guys, Giannis. Even if he loses, he's losing. He's gonna lose. He's gonna get another chance to win. I don't think like
Yeah.
that. Giannis has to, come in and just try to do something. Might try to steal a game or something. They're heading back to Milwaukee, and guys are saying there's chatter saying that it's very hard to win in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee. It's very hard for other team. The Atlanta Hawks did it, but
Mm.
I'm very confident at least they can win a game. But I just want them to win the 2 games straight that they have. the way the Phoenix Suns have. That's the thing I really want, so that you can have like a level playing field and competition can be swing back to Milwaukee. So you just don't want the I don't want
For
the
me,
Suns to go up 3-1 because you know what 3-1.
the Bucks are too inconsistent to win 2 games in a row. That's why I'm saying right now they really shouldn't have let the Suns take a 2-0 lead. So, because for me, I'm looking at this. The best thing they could do is a 4-2. For me, I don't think the Bucks have it in them. They're too much inconsistency, too much Chris Middleton. One game is hot, the next is cold. Joel is not looking like in the finals. The in this finals is not looking like he's going to even get a 20-point game. Brook Lopez, this game he just showed us that 8 points. Last game he was hitting threes and doing a lot. This game is it's too much inconsistency with their roster. I don't think they have it in them to win even 3 games in a row. So for me, it's the Suns game is finals to lose. This the best thing that I'm foreseeing a 4-1 or 4-2, but nothing more than that from the Bucks. Probably a 4-1. I'm going to call it 4-1. The Suns are going to take this. The Bucks are really let me down on this game, and I don't know if I can root for them again. I don't foresee a player like Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday making the finals again. I don't know how the hell they're going to make the finals again, because guys are going to get stronger next season and the next season. This is really their chance. So I was really let down in this game too by the Bucks, and I don't foresee them coming back from this. They
I
are not
mean,
going to come back from this. Yeah,
it's very dangerous to let a team like the Suns go up 0-2 on you because you know what they
yeah,
did to PG and the Clippers. You know what they did.
yeah,
I mean, although they bounced back in game three, the Suns won in I think game four to go up 3-1, and it was pretty hard
yeah,
for a team to blow a 3-1 lead, especially in the finals. Okay, the Warriors have done it,
yeah,
so but I'm not counting the Warriors at this point. So we're looking at the Suns, right? The Suns looks
yeah,
like they have an off game. I mean, these guys are just playing well. I mean, it's not a high. They're not CP3 is not scoring high volume. This game,
yeah.
Devin Booker
This
dropped
game,
31 points.
Devin Booker showed up. Yeah, yeah. With the Suns, you see they have so much offensive power. DeAndre Ayton didn't have one of his big scoring games. Mikael Bridges came through with 27 points. Chris Paul is not hit only 23 points. Devin Booker came through with the 31. So all they're ticking all the with the offensive points with the offensive players. They really can't go wrong. Too much consistency with this team for me. Too much consistency. Mika Bridges, I knew he was capable of this kind of game, but it was good to see him put this kind of performance in the championship finals, especially because he's a player with a lot of potential and one of the best, most sought after players in the league because of the all 3 and D kind of skill set that he possesses.
I mean, Mikael Bridges 27 points. I mean, it was pretty good. I
Yeah,
mean, I never expected Mikael Bridges to explode like that. And
yeah,
the other
yeah,
guys also showed up like DeAndre Ayton in the rebounds department, although he
yeah,
didn't score as much, but he
yeah.
grabbed 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Just took care of business in his own unorthodox way. And he had 2 blocks
And that just
defensively, was pretty good.
Yeah, that just shows the Suns kind of adjusting because definitely if you see with DeAndre Ayton's numbers, it meant that the Bucks really came into this game looking at him going like this guy. We're really going to watch him closely, and they kind of maybe stifled him a little bit because he's not the most aggressive player. And you saw, and the reaction was Michael Bridges going off on the 3 point and just him scoring off the wing because maybe they were too focused on DeAndre. So for the Suns to kind of just adjust, maybe next game they're going to say Michael Bridges is not going to put up another 27-point game, and then DeAndre Ayton adjusts, and then it's his game. You know, for this is how a team is just firing on all cylinders. You kind of stifle one player, and then another player has a big game. So this is just great basketball we're seeing from the Suns organization, and it's I don't think they're going to lose this series. Going 2-0 up, and so much consistency with the roster, scoring wise, compared to the Bucks.
I mean, if you notice, Cameron Payne didn't play as much in this game. I feel like the Suns are
Yeah,
pretty intelligent. They're trying to preserve him a bit. They're trying to limit his minutes so that he can explode again in game three. I mean, it's a
yeah,
strategy. They don't want to burn him out. They don't want to burn him out. They just want to
yeah.
play him slowly. And I feel like in
Yeah.
the next game he's going to be given heavy minutes because even Cam Johnson, he didn't play as much. He only played 18 minutes. Torrey Craig 7 minutes. Frank Kaminsky, all those guys. They didn't play as much. The guys
Yeah.
who played heavy minutes, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, they played 40, like
The big
41,
three.
42 minutes. Yeah, that big three right
44.
there. Then Mikal Bridges. I mean, they're pretty much in the whole core, right? But the bench
Yeah.
was being preserved at this point. They weren't like trying to work them as much because they know they're gonna need these other guys to close out. So, but the Bucks, man, I mean these
Mm.
Bucks really disappointing outing, especially Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton, man, how how
The
can you
Chris
how can you come up? It's just
Chris
upsetting. It's
Middleton
upsetting.
played 41 minutes. This guy played 41
Yes,
minutes, came up with 11 points. What the hell was he doing on the court? I mean, come on, Chris Middleton. What the hell are you doing on the
I'm
court?
telling
That's
you,
41 minutes. He had the most
this
minutes in the whole roster, you know?
this
And
is a
he,
guy who's supposed to be
his thing is
scoring.
scoring. Yeah, this thing is scoring. How the hell is he going getting 11 in so many minutes? 11 points. What else is he
The
doing on
Bucks,
the court?
the Bucks are not playing him inside. I mean, Giannis is going in attacking the rim, right? He's
Yeah,
catching, shooting, catch and
yeah,
shoot. Just do your job. I mean, score the damn basketball and also
yeah,
appear on the
yeah.
defensive side of the ball. I mean, that's something that it was pretty lacking, and it really rubbed me the wrong way because this guy, man, he just pulled off an 11 point. It's like the pandemic PCAS. He's on Chris
Yeah.
Middleton at this. I mean, it
Oh
was just
man.
pretty hard.
I mean, it was
I don't want to say that. Okay,
yeah,
I don't want to say that
yeah,
he reminds you of PG. PG is another level, but Chris Middleton, if he continues like this, oh man,
yeah.
he's gonna get that. He's gonna inherit that label. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Chris Middleton, he had a decent game in game one, and then in game two, when Yanis kind of woke up from his rustiness out of that injury, he doesn't show up. What are we going to say about the Bucks in game three? Are we going to say now at the Yanis keeps playing the same way he played this game, and then Middleton has to play? Too much inconsistency with their scoring, too much inconsistency. He really needed to
I
come up
mean,
with a decent game for them to have a chance because they lost by 10 points and he had 11 points, so you have to look at that like Chris Middleton just has a average game, and this is this probably is a win. you know Chris Middleton just needs to have a Chris Middleton game. This is not what Chris Middleton is capable of. And it was just such a letdown because, and the Suns recognized this. You can see with the minutes they gave to CP3 and Devin Booker, and kind of not giving Cameron Payne so many minutes. They recognized how important game two was. And if they took a 2-0 lead, it was their series. They recognized how important this was. So, and they're playing all their superstars in big minutes, and you saw it paid off in their performance. So yeah, I don't
yeah, man.
for game three and game four. I don't foresee us getting a game seven. I don't think we're gonna get a game seven. The Bucks don't have it in them. The same way Clippers kind of came back in game five and kind of lost in game six. They the same way I'm looking at the Bucks. They don't have that consistency with their scoring for them to kind of put up big numbers in like two games in a row. They don't have it in them. Too much. Too
I
much. Yeah.
mean, it's just too tough to be a Bucks fan right now. I see BC is on the chat. BC, what's up? What's up, man?
Yeah, man, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty well.
Yeah, man, like everything I predicted just came to man.
Oh, you want to rub it
They
in our
always do
face?
the
You want to
Bucks.
rub it in my face?
Man.
I
You know,
like I said
I know
when
you're
the Bucks were
happy. I know you're happy.
I'm so happy, man. Yeah.
BC is so happy right now. You know how I'm just upset right now as a Bucks fan. I mean, he's happy. Everything went according to plan. Man,
Going
come
into
on,
halftime,
man.
You
I
know,
already know Bucks are going to lose that game, man. Like you always know with the Bucks, you can always tell when the role players are not doing well away from home. Middleton, Holiday, Jimmy Holiday did play well, but okay, he has his
I'm
level.
pretty
But
sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure BC you're laughing, especially in the final minutes of the game. You're like, ha ha ha,
Yeah,
the Bucks can't win this.
I always,
you, one thing I'm looking at, I'm remembering about the game is that the Bucks really shot awful from 3 point range. That's one of the main reasons why. Their guys, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, they were awful from 3 point range. I'm looking at the stats and they had 29% from 3 point compared to the Suns who had 50%. They actually hit half of the shots that they took from the 3 point range. So so probably the game plan for the Bucks was like, Giannis is going to play in the inside. He's going to go in there and kind of rough the guys up in the paint, and the rest of the players are going to try and shoot a lot of threes, and like that's how their offense is going to be modeled after. But I'm looking at their 3 point percentage, and it's awful. They shot
yeah.
3 point. The Bucks shot 9 out of 31. They made only 9 out of 31, which is now this start to make sense how they lost this game. It was that's
And
probably
because
played a major part.
yeah, and because they have no in-game management, they went into it with a plan. The plan he worked, and they work out.
Like
Yeah, and
BC,
Middleton hasn't hit a free throw. I think in 2 games, the first 2 games, he hasn't gone to the free throw line. He's
Wow.
a he's a good shooter from the free throw line. He isn't attacking the rim well enough for for
Mm.
the team. So what the Suns will do, they let Giannis play his game. He's always going to score 30. Will suffocate the rest of the team, the rest of the Bucks, and they're going to win 5-1.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
was just saying
at,
that
at
this
this
is the
point,
Suns have to win the championship. That's what I was saying. Once they're 2-0 up and with all their scoring firepower, they're going to win this championship.
Sorry, 4-1. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's just very upsetting. And just to add on what BC just said, right? Like the in-game management, right? You see the Suns front office and the coaching staff, like every time they get on the court, not only do they have the whiteboard. I've actually told Moses like early in the stream, not only do they have the whiteboard, they have also notes, timeout note. Monty Williams and the coaching staff have notes that they have already drawn plays and systematic plays that they carry through the game, and they know how to call the timeouts. But the Bucks only have the whiteboard. I mean, they don't have any. The coaching staff just look. They're just looking at each other. I mean, they don't know how to use those plays, right? And I feel like that's what's really really hurting, like the Bucks, because as you notice in the second half, even I told Moses, right? These guys, the Bucks, were in a 10-point deficit. The Phoenix Suns were like up 10, up 13, up 10, up 10, up 10. The whole game, it was a 10-point cushion. If this guy Mike Budenholzer had a strategy, if in-game strategy or even the coaching staff, they should have the ability to offset that 10-point deficit and at least tie the game or at least get up, because there's no point on just doing plays and your guys can't even get up. I mean, you can't even tie the game in the third quarter, even late in the game when they had that little mini run with Drew Holiday, that strong and one, and the 5 minutes left. There was a strong and one by Drew Holiday. He made that free throw. Then we got Giannis with that fadeaway jumper like from 5 feet from the rim. That was their run, but the Bucks just managed to screw it up, and now they're down 0-2, man. Pretty sad. BC Moses, what you guys say about that, man? Guys,
Oh, yeah, man. I think now the series on the line for the Bucks now because they have to win game 3. They have to win at home. They have to turn up. But I feel like if they get everything right now, since they never get anything right during the game, let them get it right now. Let them get their mentality right. I think they have a mentality problem. They don't seem to have the same, how can I say, desire that the fans have maybe. And especially week away from home, the Suns know that. So if the Suns will just be looking to win one game from home, and it's done, man. And I feel like the Suns will actually win. They will win in their district. They will.
I'm sure you're
I'm
so
only
happy
saying
right
it's done,
now.
but I feel like the Bucks will win the next game probably by a small margin, maybe 107, 105, something like that. But I think if as long as the Suns let you know what, you go ahead, Giannis, you score your 30 points, we're going to suffocate these other guys. And as long as everyone turns up for the Suns like they have been, I don't know where Bridges came from last night. I was so surprised. That was so shocking for me. 27, as
He
in
dropped
that's a lot.
27, right? I mean, he
Yeah,
dropped
that's a lot.
27 points out of nowhere. I mean, I never saw that coming. Actually, Mikal Bridges, I didn't see that. I know Moses saw that potential in Mikal Bridges like earlier, but I
Yeah,
never, but I never
yeah.
expected him to drop a 20. He outscored Chris Middleton, a two-time All Star, and Mikal Bridges is yet
Mm.
to get even an All Star selection. How embarrassing is that, bro?
I
Embarrassing.
mean, his stock went up definitely. He already before even the playoffs had begun. He was one of the most, most sought after players in the league with his ability, the 3 and D thing. And then he had this ability to, he can defend the best player on the other side, and he shoots a lot of threes. But he's kind of built up his game whereby he can score a bunch of other ways. He can go in, he can score, he can cut in. He's a slasher. He can also play as a slasher. So his stock is definitely going up after this performance, and definitely is a player that every team in the league will use. I was surprised. I think it was against the Clippers. He had another big scoring game. I am not sure which game it was, but after that, I was sure of him, and I know even when his contract is up, he's going to be well sought after if he keeps developing the way he's doing. As for the series, I'm thinking the Bucks. I mean, Yanis was so frustrated. I mean, after he has to be so frustrated with the team after this performance, and I foresee the Bucks only having one game, one strong game, one win. I don't see them having two wins. So this series for me is a 4-1. I'm definitely seeing a 4-1 at best, a 4-2, and that could be a surprise. But I'm seeing a 4-1. The Suns have got the momentum, they've got the confidence, and it's just for them to finish them off. Even if the Bucks take one game, it's just for the Suns to kind of finish them off.
Yeah, man.
I
And
mean, there was this point. Go ahead, BC. Go ahead.
I was just thinking that the Bucks' biggest weakness, and I've seen it throughout this series ever since it started. They like taking low quality shots, and the Suns are the team that has been taking high quality shots better than anyone else that I've seen in this series. Like they know when to pick their shots, they know who can hit threes, they know when to shoot a three, they know when to go for to go to the rim, they know when to take a mid range. Should be Chris Paul, but the Bucks they're just taking any kind of shot, man. You're taking threes, it's not working. Going for mid range, it's a difficult shot. Some of them are still going for them. Like the difference between the Suns and the Suns know a high quality shot. The Bucks don't know a high quality shot is. The Bucks go for difficult shots or impossible shots, and the Suns are beating them for that.
Yeah, I have to agree
Yeah,
because you can see from the game, the Bucks gameplay was Yanis is going to play on the inside with his aggressiveness, and that's where he's strongest at. And the rest of the team they're kind of going to try and shoot these open threes. But once you realize the team is actually not shooting well from the three, you need to adjust from that, and they just didn't adjust. They kind of they shot themselves out of the game basically. And the Suns are just playing excellent team basketball. You saw from that one play where they moved the ball and it ended up being an and one for Nderitu. I don't know if you saw that play. They kind of just moved the ball over and over, trying to find the best and easiest shot. And the Bucks defense was actually getting whacked. And that's the kind of mentality that wins you games and can actually win you the championship. Kind of that ball movement that we saw with the Warriors team with Steph Curry and also the Miami team with LeBron and D Wade, just team basketball first and foremost. And actually, yeah, that's why after seeing plays such as that, I'm convinced that the Suns are going to win this championship.
I mean, at this point, man, the Bucks is it's looking pretty bleak for the Bucks because I'm still rooting for the Bucks. Okay, yeah, I'm still supporting them, and yeah, man, let's just see what Game Three has to offer. I don't want to count these guys out. I don't want to jinx it. We never know what will happen in the finals. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say the Bucks are done. It's over. let's just see what they're gonna do in game three. Then, yeah, man, just pick it up forward. And yeah, in other news, aside from the Bucks getting beaten in game two,
Mm,
Spencer
mm,
Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets. He said so, he had some very choice words for the Brooklyn Nets organization. You know, his contract is up. He opted out of a $10 million contract. He had his player option. He exercised it, and
mm.
right now he's looking at dollar. He's seeing dollar signs. He's looking for the bag.
Mm.
The Brooklyn
Wow.
Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, have the ability to sign him to a 196. That contract, that
Wow.
bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now the thing is, if the Brooklyn
Mm,
Nets decide to mess it up, he
mm,
has the ability. They can walk. They can walk around it. They can say, okay, he's not gonna take a 3 year 60 million. He said that he's not gonna take that money. You don't want to get lowballed. So he said, okay, if the
mm,
Brooklyn Nets want to dance, we can dance. So I'll take a. He's open to taking a 5 year 125. You know, 125 million,
mm,
5 years. He's willing to take that
mm,
money. He's willing to take that
mm,
scratch. The Brooklyn Nets.
mm.
Now he said he's gonna lay it to the Brooklyn Nets. If you guys agree to this deal, I'm staying. But if you don't, there are other guys who can give me that bag. So what you guys say about that? Is he gonna sell for are the Brooklyn Nets gonna mess it up in this situation?
I mean, for me, I think the Brooklyn Nets don't have the capabilities of giving him 125 over 5 years. I don't think that's possible for them. The Brooklyn Nets are thinking, we know we want to contend, we want to build this roster. We already have these three superstars. Dean Whittle is a very good player in this league, and he's a very capable guard. So I definitely don't foresee him staying with the Nets because I don't think logic dictates that they're not going to give him this kind of contract. And I hear here that there's interest with in him with the Mavs and the Miami Heat. So I'm betting on him going to one of those teams and like helping any of those teams to contend. That's the best thing that's going to happen for you. I don't see him staying with the Nets because yeah, the Nets aren't going to value him that well.
A BC.
Yeah, man, I think the Nets will let him go, and maybe they should in a way. They won't mess it up, as you put it. I think they'll just let him go because if their three guys are healthy, man, as in how many teams can beat that team with just those three guys healthy? So they don't think he's a player worth keeping like for that much. So I think they'll let him
I
go,
mean,
and they
yeah.
should, man.
I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie mentioned that he's willing to stay with the Brooklyn Nets, but the kind of money that he's asking for, it's max money. It's $100 million plus, so it's gonna be hard for the Brooklyn Nets to work that around their books because in the as we can look at the books, they signed Kyrie. He's on a max deal. They signed KD. He's on a super max deal. They signed oh no, they traded for James Harden, who is within a max deal. So I feel like, they don't have that money in that cap space because if they sign him to that money, these guys are gonna get into the luxury tax. They'll be in the red, and it hurts their depth, and they're not able to. They're not gonna be able to, keep sign and trade players. Not many people don't want. Many people don't want to take a pay cut like a 1 year, $1 million, $2 million contract. They're not taking that. Guys just want the bag. So him asking for this money, I don't see him getting this type of money from a Brooklyn Nets team, maybe another team like another team maybe. But you know how free agency works. I mean, the rumors have to fall through, and there's one domino that has tried to fall early, but we don't know, we're not sure. We're just gonna wait until see what happens. So that was that,
Yeah.
and what's up, Moses?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Plus, it's fair. The best thing for him, he's doing what's best for him because he's in his prime. He's 28 years old. So yeah, he's definitely looking for that big bag. So yeah, he's not going to stay, and he's a very valuable player as according to me in this league. So yeah, he will not be short of suitors. A lot of teams will be definitely looking at him, and yeah, we'll definitely see Dinwiddie in another team next season, definitely.
And also, just to add on, this is a different thing. This is about Mikhail Bridges.
Yeah.
There's an interesting article that was written about Mikhail Bridges. I just want you guys to follow me on this. Mikhail Bridges was drafted 10th overall in the 2018 NBA draft by Philly, the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly traded him to Phoenix for Zaire Smith, the 16th overall pick, and a first. Zaire Smith only played 13 games in the NBA and is now in the G League. Mikal Bridges scored a playoff career high 27 points in game 2 of the NBA Finals. Bro, what you got to say about that?
I actually saw an article where the former Sixers coach Brett Brown actually apologized to Michael Bridges' mother over making that trade. Because I understand Michael Bridges' mother was a part of the Sixers organization. I don't know. I'm not sure what she did in that organization, but the way they traded Michael Bridges to the Suns, they actually apologized to
On
her.
draft night,
Based on her.
he was traded
Yeah,
on. I mean, he was traded on draft night. I mean, how disrespectful
yeah.
is that? I mean, then the guy he was traded
Why
for
trade for
only.
him? Yeah,
I mean, the guy he
yeah.
was traded for
Finish.
only
Mm.
Philly just did a huge mistake. I mean, the guy they traded for only played 13 games, and he's now in the G League. So wasted.
Yeah,
Like
it
what a
didn't make any
waste, bro.
sense why they even traded for him. It doesn't make any sense why
BC
they even traded for him.
BC. What's your input on that stat? BC. Oh, BC has muted his mic, but I mean, it's just L after L after L for the six Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, I saw this. I actually was pretty amazed to see that, and I actually, I didn't believe that at all. So, I mean, it was unbelievable. And
Yeah,
also another thing, I just want to mention real quick. So
yeah,
yesterday marked the anniversary of the LeBron James decision in 2010.
yeah,
He said he's gonna take
wow.
his talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat after after being a two-time MVP and leading the Cavs to the best record in the East. He got stopped by the Celtics in the second round twice, and yeah, man, in second round and also in the conference finals by the Orlando Magic. But hey, I mean, it marked that, and that was that day that it changed the landscape of free agency. What you guys say about that, Moses?
For that was a very eventful, eventful day if you ask me, because that was the day when actually LeBron, introduced us to player power, whereby a superstar could actually take control of his destiny. Before that, I hadn't seen that kind of power from one player. Even maybe Michael Jordan had that sort of power back then in the 90s, but I hadn't seen that kind of power from a player who could actually say, "Hey, I'm going to this team, and me and these other superstars, we're going to go and form this championship team." We hadn't seen anything like that before. We were used to organization kind of setting up the superstars, setting up the teams, and yeah, and the teams kind of contending from what the organization had given them. But from then on, for just seems from that day, it's been more players have been getting more power and more power and more power. And now in 2021, we've got organization actually begging players like we did with Yanis, actually begging players not to go because they recognize, we can't really. If a player wants to go, he's going to go. He's definitely going to go. So it's up to an organization to cater to a player and actually, you know, kind of give him the right pieces for him to be satisfied and for him to keep contending year after year. If you don't do it, the player is going to go to a better team and you'll have wasted your draft pick and whatever you had sacrificed to get this superstar, whether you develop him or whatever. Like we saw with AD with the New Orleans, if you don't get this guy, that's a good team, is going to go. From that day, LeBron did the whole decision thing. It's kept getting better and better for the players, and and now we're seeing it even today. If the Bucks actually lose
Yeah.
this championship and they're not going to come back stronger next season, Giannis is definitely going to be looking at other teams. This is something that I can for sure say it's going to happen.
But Giannis signed that super max extension, the richest contract in NBA history. How can he move that? He signed the richest contract, bro. I mean,
I know
I
he
know
did
it's
that, but
possible
he's
to trade
probably
it, but
going to give them 1 year. He's going to give them another year.
but 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 if he okay, I mean Moses right now, I mean he
Yeah,
signed to that 228 million contract extension. I mean it's the richest contract. I mean moving that contract, on the books, man, it's gonna take a challenge. It's gonna be challenging to move it
yeah,
because Giannis made the decision to stay in Milwaukee and build around
yeah,
Milwaukee, right?
yeah.
So you can say, I mean, he tested his loyalty by signing that deal. So him asking for a trade after losing an NBA Finals, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't work well with me. I don't see that happening. He's gonna be like a
You
Damian
know,
Lillard at this point.
the way I'm looking, the way I'm looking at it is going to, if let's say it will depend on the manner that they're going to lose that. So far so good. We're looking at if if we'll see a couple this game to the way it went. If we see a couple more performances such as the way game two went, he's going to get frustrated. Then we give it another year. I don't think he's going to want to leave after immediately because actually the team made the finals, so that was a good thing this season. But if we come back next season and it's same old kind of performance in the playoffs whereby he shows up and his teammates don't show up, he'll definitely leave. I'm going to say after next season, if the Bucks roster is as inconsistent as we've seen in game two, player power. He's going to be looking at other places and saying, "Hey, I'm a superstar. This is my time to compete. I want to win a championship. Which other organization is ready?" And I don't think organizations are going to be worried of his contract. They're going to be, doing whatever they can to acquire this guy, and they'll think that they are going to do a better strategy. They're going to have a better strategy than the Bucks have with their roster. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be immediately, but you give it 2 years, and yeah, Bucks. The Giannis will keep putting in performances such as yesterday's performance, and yeah, he'll be looking at the Bucks saying, "Hey, what else are you guys helping me with to win this championship?"
They gave Chris Middleton that bag. They traded for Drew
Mm.
Holiday. Also, Drew Holiday signed in with another massive extension. So I mean, they're locked in for the long haul. It's right now. If they don't win, I mean, next season is gonna be very difficult because Kyrie's coming back. James Harden is gonna be coming back. God willing, there's no injuries that's gonna plague him. So you see, right now it's gonna be harder for Giannis to get to the
Mm.
finals because it's gonna go through KD. KD that's 100%. So I mean, at this point, they just had Giannis has to win. If it's not this season, next season he has to win.
Yeah,
So
he'll definitely have that itch in him. He'll say, "This is my time to win." So the Bucks will actually be panicking if they don't win this finals. This is their finals to win. I don't think it's going to be another. I don't know. I'm looking at the roster: Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Are they going to make another finals? Are they really going to make another finals in, like, let's say, the next 5 years? If they do not win this one, because I think if the Bucks actually win this championship, Giannis is going to dedicate himself to the Bucks for probably the rest of his career. That's what I think. If they win this championship, if they don't win this championship this year, oh man, I don't even want to say. I think he's going after 2 years. He's going.
yeah, man. BC was out a bit. You see if you're muting your mic.
Yeah, I'm back here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
just
just
missed.
talking about
I've heard you all talking about
we were
Giannis and the Bucks.
oh we were it was a segue. We were just referencing yesterday was the anniversary of the decision that LeBron James made in 2010 when he decided to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers to go to the Miami Heat South Beach. Um, form that big three with Wade and Bosh. What you got to say about that move by LeBron James way back then?
Yeah, man. Actually, that is around the time where I started following basketball seriously because there was a lot of drama around it. I always knew who LBJ was, but there was a lot of anger by the fans from Cleveland about it and things like that. Uh, I think he just had that superstar power where he felt like you know what, I have to go win something. And then, like me first, let me go and win a championship first because that's what people expect. I've been a celebrity since I was in high school. Like, there was so much pressure on LeBron, and he had to do what he had to do, man.
You
And
actually
also,
mentioned something funny. Because
Yeah.
you actually mentioned something funny, BC. You said that was the first time you started watching NBA. I actually have to
Seriously.
admit that was also the first time I actually started watching NBA. After the LeBron did the decision thing, that kind of shook
Yeah.
the whole sports universe, and I was like, "Hey, I want to watch this team. How is this team going
Yeah.
to perform? Who are these guys? D Wade. Are these superstars? Are they going to win every game in the league?" So I was like, that's when I also started watching the league. So yeah, that's funny to remember even for me.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I just got a question. Oh, I just got a question to interject real quick. Do you feel like
Yeah.
this decision by LeBron James moving to South Beach with the Miami Heat from the Cleveland Cavaliers, can you say that this decision inspired KD to leave OKC to Golden State?
Mm.
I
I
can't really
would
say.
say that. Yeah, go ahead, BC. Go ahead.
I don't know, man, because the the concept of I think KD felt like people say like KD felt like he'll have a sort of a super team when he goes to the Warriors. Not sort of, he will have a super team when he goes to the Warriors. But you know what? Super teams have always existed. Just about the organization taking the missing piece, the missing person. Celtics Big Three was always a super team. I don't know. So there's nothing new with what it was just framed in a different way, but I don't think LeBron did anything new with that. He was just the concept of a super team was always there, like a big three, and yeah, I think it was just blown out of proportion. To be honest.
For me,
Yeah,
I think that yeah, LeBron actually changed the landscape because before then, like the Celtics super team, and also I could say maybe the Rockets had a super team in like late '90s.
Lakers,
They had, yeah, Lakers had kind of a super team. I would say what LeBron did, and LeBron and also D Wade and Bosch did was actually, they actually planned it out. They say, hey, when we are all going to be free agents, it's going to be at the same time. So what do we do? We are all three superstars. We are all stars. Let's go to this team and make
yeah,
it great. And we saw the same thing with KD and Kyrie do with the Nets, because they were actually going there as one unit, and we saw actually the Knicks kind of trying to cut them to go to the Knicks, and they actually picked the Nets over the Knicks. I would say that LeBron actually player power. As for player power, he was the innovator. He kind of took it and say, hey, we're tired of letting organization kind of control the super teams. Yeah, we actually had to wait for an organization to form a super team to actually put in the good pieces and actually be a competent organization. Then we'd actually see a super team. Now we actually seen players waiting until they're actually planning it out and saying, hey, I'm going to be a free agent, and this year, this is my colleague is also going to be a free agent. And this year, what do we do? Let's come together. Let's go to a team and let's make it great. Let's play together. Let's be superstars. Let's go for the championship together. So yeah, I actually think, yeah, KD actually took a page from LeBron, even though his was a little bit too extreme for my taste. But yeah, it was definitely LeBron inspired.
true.
so yeah, I feel okay. I feel like KD took the way LeBron James decision and did it better. He, as much as guys still hate KD for moving to Golden State, although he's no longer in Golden State. I actually, the first time, I really didn't like that move at all. I was like, KD, why KD? Why did he have to go to Golden State? You would have been a legend in Oklahoma City. But then it hit me after he left Brooklyn. After he left, okay, if they left like Golden State in the 2019 off season, then it hit me. Is it gonna really matter which team that KD played? He already is a champion. He's a proven champion. He has dominated in every finals that he's been in. 2017 NBA Finals, 35 points, eight rebounds, 7 assists. 2018, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 9.5 assists. So you can see this guy, man. he everywhere he went, he was great. As much as his tenure in Golden State is overshadowed. It overshadows his greatness in OKC, but he was great in OKC. He was great in Golden State, and I feel it's gonna be great in Brooklyn, despite the injuries that they got. But they're gonna come out stronger, and that's that. So on to another topic that hit the airwaves pretty quick. Kyle Kuzma. He had an interview with Tyler Conway for Bleacher Report, and he had some very choice words that he had to shed some light on. He said, and I quote, "I definitely can be an all-star. I don't really care what anybody thinks or says about me. I know myself and I know my ability. It's hard to be consistent in an inconsistent role. I'm existent. I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm excited for a more consistent space to showcase what I can do." This is Kyle Kuzma on if he has the ability to be a 25 plus point per game scorer and an all star in his career. So, guys, what you guys say about Kyle Kuzma at that point?
Kyle Kuzma for me is a very inconsistent player. Kyle Kuzma for me, when he gets to the court, he's a scorer. That's the main thing he offers the team, right? But if you're an inconsistent scorer, then we gotta be asking, why are you in the league? If you're a shooter and you can't shoot well, then why? What do you do? What else do you do? That's why for me, Kyle Kuzma, I look at Kyle Kuzma's game. He came through. People always saying he's going to be this great scorer. He's going to score a lot of points. That's mainly what they were saying about. He's not a defender. He's not a 3-point shooter. He's not a paint scorer. He's just a scorer. That's all he does. So for him to say he needs a consistent role, I don't know. What I'm hearing is he needs a consistent role in a team that is not competing, in a team that's not in the playoffs, in a team that's not looking to win, in a team that's going to allow him to shoot,
And
I don't
just
know, 30% from the field. So not that, and that's
and
not
just
the
to put
Lakers.
things
So yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
and
finish.
most
Just
just
go
to
ahead.
put things into
Yeah.
perspective, and just put things into perspective, the Lakers gave Kyle Kuzma a $40 million contract extension, and he comes out and
Mm.
says this statement. So, BC, what you guys say about Kyle Kuzma?
Kyle Kuzma should be traded, man. I mean, I don't know why they're still keeping him on the team. They say LeBron does all the work for him. LeBron has to spoon feed him on the team. I mean, it's never going to work out for him with Lakers. He's not an all-round player, which is what the Lakers need right now. So they shouldn't keep him. I don't know why. I don't know why he's still on that team, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
feel
I
I
think
feel
the
like
Lakers the
yeah.
Lakers gave him the Lakers gave him the 40 million for him to play a certain role that clearly he's kind of saying he doesn't want to play. He wants the ball more. He wants to be given a lot more responsibility. The Lakers gave him that bag because maybe they were looking for a kind of the role like player you'd say Jay Crowder plays at not a lesser role, kind of scoring off the bench and like doing small things. And Kyle Kuzma is kind of looking at himself like I'm a superstar. I want the ball. I want to be given this responsibility. So yeah, I kind of it's weird that the Lakers gave him that bag and he's here talking about this right now.
So at this point, Kyle Kuzma, the Lakers have shown him the door. He's not gonna wear a Lakers jersey moving forward. I don't see him coming back to the Lakers. And if he's not traded in the off season, I expect him to be traded in the trade deadline or before the trade deadline. So the Kyle Kuzma, I can compare his career to Carmelo Anthony. Despite he doesn't have as much accolades as Carmelo Anthony, but he plays similar to a Carmelo Anthony. But the problem is he's very inconsistent in his scoring. And yeah, that's what I can say about Kyle Kuzma. I don't see him staying long term with the Lakers, despite the contract that he was given. But yeah, man, I mean that's the situation. And
Mm.
you guys, did you notice in game one, uh, the Suns forward Dario Saric had a torn ACL in his knee from an injury in game one, and he's gonna miss the rest of the finals. Prayers go to Dario Saric, torn ACL.
That was actually that was sad to see because with Saric they're losing another player from their bench that could really have helped them. Right now their rotation on the bench is generally just Cameron Johnson and Cameron Payne, so they could have really used Dario Saric. That's a miss for them. But I don't think with the way they are playing, I don't think they're going to like really miss him that much. Though it's still a miss for their bench.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
mean, Dario Saric, and in any injury. Oh, go ahead, BC. Go ahead.
I don't think. Yeah, I also share the sentiment. They're going to miss him that much, but the problem with these kinds of injuries, the potential career-changing injuries, always a bit bad to see a player with an ACL, Achilles, those kinds of injuries. And Harden playing with his hamstring, man, that was big. These career-changing injuries, always bad.
And as per and on to other news, real quick. So, as per a tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski, the Brooklyn Nets are finalizing a deal with David Vanterpool to become an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets. So Scott Brooks has signed on to be Chauncey Billups' top assistant in Portland. David Vanterpool signed as an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets franchise. So Scott Brooks was I don't know where he came from, but maybe it was on the league. But Adrian Wojnarowski just keeps dropping these bombs that you don't expect. So, do you think Portland can turn it around with Chauncey Billups and Scott Brooks?
Portland for me have to blow it up. I don't think so. I think they have to blow up the squad. I don't see them competing in the playoffs strongly. At least they might make the playoffs at best, but they're not really reaching the conference finals or even the semis for me. So it's done. It's time for them to blow it up and kind of Lillard and CJ for them to look to go to places where they could be big pieces and help other organizations that are in better situations to go for the championship. So yeah, for me it's a no. That's them saying that they want to rebuild. That's not them saying that they are getting stronger.
I mean, at this point, there's this time you mentioned we were discussing about not the Brooklyn Nets, excuse me. We are discussing about the Philadelphia 76ers and the Portland Trailblazers potential trade between Ben Simmons, the usual suspect, Ben Simmons, and CJ McCollum. I actually went to the ESPN trade machine and I tried to pull the trigger on that trade, and it was successful. It was successful swapping Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum.
Mm.
Well, I mean, at this point, Ben Simmons, I don't know about him, but as much as the Philadelphia 76ers try to protect him, the inevitable will.
I actually heard that the Sixers were only going to trade Ben Simmons if they were getting an All Star. That's what they say. They were getting a superstar All Star. That's the only way they're trading Ben Simmons. So I don't know if so. At least they were open to trading him. It's actually out there. That's what they've said. That's the what they've communicated with the rest of the league. It's out there. They're looking to trade him, but if they're not going to get an NBA All Star superstar, then the trade is not going to happen. They might as well just hold on to him. So I don't know. Is CJ McCollum a quote unquote NBA All Star superstar? Is he a player that is that the kind of player Sixers were meaning when they say that? That's a
I
question
can
right there.
say at this point I can say go ahead, BC, go ahead.
Nah, man. I was just always saying he's a borderline all-star. Well, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, CJ McCollum, the way he has played, I followed him pretty well in the 2019 playoff run with where the Blazers made the Western Conference Finals. I mean, CJ McCollum is a borderline All Star. He has the ability to be an All Star. There's no doubt about his skill set, but he provides something that the Sixers desperately need, especially on the perimeter that's shooting. Ben Simmons can shoot,
Yeah.
so we have to come to terms with we have to come to terms with the reality that Ben Simmons can shoot a basketball to save his life. I actually prefer Giannis because at least Giannis, even if he shoots the ball and he gets embarrassed, um, he doesn't take it to heart. But Ben Simmons is too afraid to even attack the rim. He's afraid to get and get to the foul line. He's too afraid. But Giannis embraces it. Giannis gets disrespected in every arena he goes to. The guys except Milwaukee, they don't count him his free throws. So every team he goes to play there, um, the
Definitely a
fans
mentality.
count. Yeah, so
It's a mentality
Giannis is
thing.
not
Giannis
embarrassed.
has that mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna be embarrassed. But Ben Simmons is too
Mm.
embarrassed to even take a shot. So that's what is killing him, and that's why I feel like the Sixers have to be forced their hand. And also another point I might add, right? As much as you can say that Doc Rivers should be fired, he can't be fired because he signed a was it a 4 year contract with 4 or 5 year contract with the Sixers. So terminating that will be pretty difficult. So that's that.
Mm. For me,
Yeah,
Ben
man.
Simmons, it's a mentality thing. Go ahead, BC. Go ahead.
Now, I just have a question about another team. Like when I was seeing the last few months of the NBA, like the regular season, I thought the Washington Wizards were looking so good. Like Russell Westbrook, 20 dimes, I don't know, 30 points. He was one of the best players on earth. Bradley Beal is always going to be good. He's an all-star. Like, I don't know what went wrong for them. Why did they exit the series so early? I don't know what happened with the Wizards. They looked so good, to be honest.
BC, I can answer that question for you. I can say um, Westbrook, his play style, as much as he is the king of the triple double, his play style is not tailored to play playoff basketball. Number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
his play style is only tailored for the regular season, not the playoffs, and that's why he gets bounced out early. Even if he made the finals with KD in 2012, uh, I feel like if Westbrook genuinely would have passed the bag to KD and let KD be the alpha dog in that series, they might have a chance. They might have had a chance to push that series to at least 7 games. But Westbrook was staying with the ball too. He had the highest usage rate for 4 straight seasons, counting his MVP season in 2017. 2017, 2018, 2019. That guy has the highest usage rate. And also, when he went to the Washington Wizards, he had to team up with the Bradley Beal, and you know he was able to break the playoff drought for the Wizards. But I wasn't confident he was gonna make it past the first round with that team. So that was that. So that's what I can say. His style is not tailored for playoff basketball.
Yeah, as for me, I have to agree. Westbrook basketball is not playoff winning basketball. Like we talked about CP3 basketball being a very high Q, slowed down. He just breaks you down. He kind of looks for weaknesses, exploits that kind of thinking, the thinking basketball kind of game. And that's not Westbrook's basketball. Westbrook basketball is very erratic. He kind of goes on. It's kind of going on instincts. If you see Westbrook play, it's kind of going on instincts. And if that's your point guard, that's a guy that's going to lead the offense. Your team basically doesn't have a chance. For me, you can't all pinpoint it to Westbrook per se. For me, Washington Wizards just didn't have the firepower to go past. I think it was the Sixers that they kind of lost to. They have the
Yeah,
firepower. The Sixers had, even Ben Simmons had a decent series in that game, in that series. He had a decent series. He was playing well. So it was just a matter of firepower. The Washington Wizards wasn't a playoff team, quote unquote. They really just kind of just finished well in the regular season and just got in. But for they don't have enough firepower, and I don't see them competing even next season.
BC.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the opinions, man. At some point, I said see them seriously towards the end, and I agree. Westbrook should be playing points, but yeah, maybe next season if they get to the playoffs, they might. I don't know. They
I
seem
know
a
I
bit.
mean,
they need a roster. They need a
Bradley
roster
Beal was one
rechange.
of
They need
the
just to yeah.
yeah, Beal was one of the
go
leading
ahead.
leading scorers early in the season, so I really had faith in them.
I mean, I
For
mean, as
them
much as
for them it's the roster.
yeah.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say for them it's just their roster. It's not strong enough. Their roster is not strong enough to kind of really compete with the big boys. So yeah, they might have Bradley Bill who's just is just insane, and Westbrook who can give decent production if he actually just slows down and kind of delegates a little bit. But other than that, the rest of the guys, who else are we looking at? Who else
I mean, we
are
also
they a good defensive team?
and also we have
Yeah, go
Davis
ahead.
Bertans. Davis Bertans. He had an injury, so the shortened season. It really hurt. It really hurt the roster because Davis Bertans was their third option. You got Rui Hachimura. He was a rookie. He was a rookie last year. Now he's a second year player. So we don't expect much from those guys. So we expect two alpha dogs in Westbrook and Beal to lead that team. So, but I feel
Sure.
I can say Beal had the chance to leave Washington if he had. He signed that 2 year, $75 million contract extension. And he sat there whining that, my team is losing. Some point at the beginning of the season, they were 3-11. So
Yeah.
I feel like, he brought it to himself. If he really wanted to go into a contender, he shouldn't have signed that extension, which I think is going to go up this season, this off season.
Yeah,
So
he
I
took he
feel
took the bag. He took the bag.
he took the
Yeah.
bag, right?
Yeah, he took the bag. And also, the Washington Wizards told him that this would be his team. And he kind of was like, yeah, that's what I want. I want my own team where I'm the leader, I'm the guy, I'm the go to guy. So they sold him that plus the money, and, he took it. So, he shouldn't be really whining about it.
Yes. That's what, but, I mean, if you decide to stay on a team that, okay, like a Damian Lillard, there's no slight to Damian Lillard, right? Damian Lillard chose loyalty. The Portland Trailblazers compensated him pretty well. He's on a 227 million extension that is set to expire in 2025. So that guy is going to be earning damn near 50 million per year in the last 2 years of his deal, with a player option in the last year. But he's going to opt in. So when Damian Lillard says that, oh, build around me, it's gonna be hard to build around a guy that he's eating up like 50% of the cap space. So in his later years, so his prime is gonna be in a Portland Trailblazers team that doesn't have the pieces to contend. Their closest chance was in 2019 where they made the Western Conference Final, and that was the only chance that they had in the Damian Lillard era to make it to the finals. So as much as he complains and whines and he wants to get traded, he shows that. I mean, guys like LeBron, he signs deals with that which have 1 year. He can opt out. He has options. He's not
Yeah.
signing long term. That's why he moved to Miami. He left. Actually, if you look at LeBron's contract in with the Cavaliers in his second go around between 2014 and 2018, every year had an option. He could exercise his option any year, and that's why the he exercised his option to get out of the Cleveland Cavaliers situation in 2018. But this year, with the Lakers, he's locked in for like till 2025, I think. But that's the situation with Damian Lillard and also Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal can leave Washington. But he just wants to stay with his own team. He doesn't want to go to a guy to play second fiddle. That's his prerogative. So you can't blame him for that. Also, Damian Lillard, he wants his team. So yeah, man, that's the
you know
situation.
like 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 we said, lebron is the innovator of a lot of things. This kind of contracts, they weren't giving this kind of contracts to anybody before 2010, whereby you could opt out after every year of your contract. So lebron's definitely the innovator. For him to sign the contract he did with the Lakers till 2025, I think he's looking at the Lakers like, hey, I want to retire here. This is a very attractive organization. I like it here. I like LA. And yeah, it was just kind of, I don't see him going anywhere else where he'll retire. He'll probably retire as a Laker, and yeah, that's why he signed the contract.
Yeah, already he got the job done last year with the title. So even if he doesn't reach the finals again, I'm okay with it. I mean, he won every championship with every team he has been with. So yeah, man,
Yeah,
BC, what you think about that, BC?
and only question is, a lot of teams are going to make adjustments. One lucky team is going to hire Mike D'Antoni as head coach. Uh, the only question is, man, like, who's going to face the Nets in the final? That's the only inevitable thing next season. Like, the Nets are going to reach the final. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
true,
think
true.
2 of the next 3 years going to be dominated by the Nets. Like, who's going to face the Nets in the final, and can they beat them, man? That offense is crazy.
I mean,
You know,
I don't know. In the
yeah,
West, the West has a lot of potential. I don't know. I'm going to need to think about that. Yeah, I don't know what
Clay
Nerito
Thompson
thinks.
and Stephen Curry will be back. Clay
Mm,
Thompson and
yeah.
Steph Curry will be back. LeBron
Yeah.
James,
Mm,
AD will be back. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic are gonna be back. You know, another guy, the
Clippers.
Suns are gonna be back better than ever. Clippers with Kawhi Leonard in
Mm,
his revenge tour to get to the finals. You know the
mm.
slight that it comes with the Clippers when they don't make the finals. If they made it, you know the slight that comes with the Clippers. They're the little brother to the Lakers. They gotta win that chip. So in the West, it's wide open for every team. Even the East, as much as I can root for the Nets, bro. I feel at this point, the Nets are gonna like they're gonna beat a team like the Bucks again. But I feel like the Bucks aren't. If they don't win this time, they're not gonna make it the next time because the Nets are coming in
Yeah,
strong.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
they're not
Celtics are
gonna
definitely
make it.
going to. I feel like the Celtics are going to go far. If they stay injury free, actually, they they might get to the finals with the conference finals.
what
Mm.
about Miami
There's,
Heat
there,
and Jimmy Butler?
Sorry.
Miami Heat with Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler at the helm. What you think about that team?
For me, Miami Heat are just one piece away from being really, really strong. I don't think they're there yet. They have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They just need another one piece, just another decent play. Probably we could see Spencer Dinwiddie go in there and kind of adding a little more firepower to that roster. They probably need a player such as that. Just one more piece. I don't think they're there yet. So I'll be looking at them during the
But
offseason. Could they get that strong piece?
but Moses, they got Oladipo.
Yeah.
Oladipo, but I don't know if they're gonna re-sign
Ah,
Oladipo again. They got Oladipo
I
there.
mean,
Remember, it was traded
i-
in the trade
is
deadline.
Oladipo is Oladipo still Oladipo? I'm not sure about Oladipo. His injuries have really
Yes,
deteriorated his
man.
game. I
BC,
don't know what you guys think.
BC, what
Man,
you
I
think
don't know.
about Victor Oladipo?
Victor Oladipo is never going to be the same player again, man. He was never going to help
Yeah.
that team. What I learned from, like, what I got from last year's playoffs in the bubble, like, Tyler Hero was so good, and I thought he would be so much better this season. Like, he was a revelation with knees, with all that. So I thought Tyler Hero will be better this season based on his performance in the bubble last season. And all in all, I just don't think he's too bad for the team. You don't have the belief to get to the finals again. Dragic is good. Duncan Robinson, they don't have the belief, in my opinion.
I mean, they had a chance to trade for James Harden, but they just couldn't let Tyler Hero go. And you know that it's coming back to bite them. I don't know. They
But
just
he's a
need
young
one
guy.
more
He can
superstar.
do it.
Yeah.
He's a young guy.
Plenty
He
of
can do it.
potential.
What
Yeah.
if what
Yeah.
if like a Bradley Beal joins the Miami Heat? What about that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what they would be needing. One thing about Miami Heat organization, it's one of the best. For me, it's one of the best. They actually do great deals. I don't know what bad deal they've done so far. They actually just do keep getting great deal after great deal, especially since LeBron left. Keep getting these great deals and always have a decent roster that's always competing. They don't tank. They never tank. They're always strong. So I foresee them doing getting that superstar, and I'll be looking at them definitely in the off season.
I mean, at this point, I mean, the whole league is the parity narrative. Like every league is has a chance, has an equal chance to make it to the finals, and this season proved it. Like the Suns, we never expected the Suns, bro. I'm pretty sure nobody here expected the Suns to go this far.
No,
Nobody.
no,
BC,
Nobody.
as much
no.
as BC you support, as much as BC you support the Suns, you didn't pick them to make the finals, right?
Hell no, man. But they got it right where Mike D'Antoni got it wrong with the Rockets. It's basically D'Antoni's
Yeah.
game plan Rockets, but they're executing it. They're doing it so well, man. I don't know. It was
They're
unpredictable.
playing. They're playing more team basketball. The Anthony was a team tailored to the point guard, where the super guard, the superstar guard would kind of control the game, control the scoring, control the touches of each player. But we've seen with the Suns, it's more it's more team basketball. Even though we see CP3 and Devin Booker have more of the ball, but you could see with the ball movement and kind of everyone getting decent looks. So it's more team basketball compared to the Anthony basketball, whereby it would be
I
maybe a
mean,
Steve Nash or a James Harden touching the ball and kind of just handling it for majority of the 24 seconds. So yeah, I think it's a better way than the Anthony way.
I mean, D'Antoni and Daryl Morey were heavily analytics based. They bunked mostly on ISO plays, and their ISO plays ran through CP3 and James Harden. But remember, I mentioned this the previous time, but when MVP the MVP award went to James Harden in 2018, but the 2018-2019 season when CP3 went down, uh, Daryl Morey and Mike D'Antoni put the ball on James Harden's hands. So when they put the ball in James Harden's hands, what did that mean? I mean, every offense is going through James Harden. So when CP3 came in, it was a pretty it was a it was pretty bad. I mean, the ball wasn't moving the way it's supposed to, and you can see that style didn't work. But CP3 and Monty Williams figured that out, and they're exploiting it, and that's why they're up 2-0 against the Bucks. So I mean, that was that.
Mm, mm. So what are you guys saying about the game game three? What are we saying about game three?
Okay, let's give our predictions before we close out the we calm down. I still believe in them Bucks, so I may just go first. I'm gonna just say in Milwaukee, the only team that has beaten Milwaukee and at home is the Atlanta Hawks with Trey Young. I feel like they're gonna win Game 3, and I hope they use their momentum to win Game 4 the same way like they use the same momentum to win Game 5 and Game 6 with the Atlanta Hawks. That's what I hope. I really hope they win Game 3 and Game 4 maybe. I mean, I know that's a long shot, but I'm pretty sure they can win Game 3. Moses, BC.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead, BC.
okay. I feel like the Bucks will win game three, but it'll be close. They will maybe 107, 104, 107, 105. Yeah, so it'll be close. They're going to win game three, but game four, I'd give it to the Suns, to be honest.
Mm,
So the
Yeah,
yeah,
Suns
so
are gonna
that's
go
going
up
to be
3-1.
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
have
very
to
dangerous
agree
for the
also.
Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks are going. The Bucks are going to win this championship. For me, yeah, the Bucks are probably going to win Game 3 because they'll be looking at, hey, we're at home. Let's give it everything we've got. They have one more game in them to win. They're not going to get swept. They're not going to get swept in these finals. So they have one more game in them, and this is the perfect game for them to take the one game. It's probably going to be Game 3 down at Milwaukee. So yeah, this is their game. The Suns are kind of going to like kind of maybe be intimidated by the crowd at Milwaukee, and then the Bucks win it, but then they'll get back to their groove and kind of take the series.
BC.
That's my prediction. I share the same sentiments, man. Bucks will win game three. It will be a close one, but Bucks will edge it. But game four will go to the Suns. The Suns are just too good. They're so organized. They know what they're doing. Nothing gets them. Nothing really hits them by surprise coming from the Bucks. Like we already know how the Bucks are going to play. We know that if things go wrong for the Bucks, they don't have a plan B. the Suns will have a plan B, will have a plan C, and this is where the championship will be won. The championship will be won because the Bucks do not know how to how to adjust themselves depending on how the game is going. So yeah, Suns in five.
Mm. Yeah, Suns in
Okay.
five. Suns in
What are you
five.
doing,
Yeah.
guys? You're hurting me when you say Stars in five. You know, you're hurting me.
I mean, I was a Bucks fan.
Still believe
I
in them
just
Bucks.
changed after that game two performance. I had to change. That was awful by the Bucks. I don't see they don't have it in them to win. They probably don't deserve to win the championship after that kind of performance in game two. It was awful.
Uh,
It was awful by the
you
Bucks
can't rate
roster,
them.
apart from
You
Giannis.
still give them a chance, bro. I mean,
Oh man,
you're
that
the
was
same guys.
awful.
You're the same guys who you're the same guys who counted out LeBron James when he was down 3-1 with the Warriors, man. I'm not saying that
Oh
Giannis is
man,
a LeBron James, but in the finals. But
LeBron
anyway,
James is LeBron James is a different animal, man. I don't see Giannis kind of pulling off a LeBron James with the Bucks. It's just too much work for him. I don't think he
mm,
doesn't have it in him yet. Because you also saw LeBron James during the late 2000s. He was kind of getting powerless when he faced the Celtics and they were kind of beating him. So yeah, he had to build that kind of mentality for him to be LeBron James that he is today. He actually had to lose a couple of really big playoff games. So Yanis, I don't think Yanis has it in them. He's going to really, really try. I think Yanis is going to play a good game with the rest of the series, but it won't be enough.
yeah, man. I mean, I just still root for the Bucks anyway. So, you guys,
That
I just want to come. Okay, go ahead, BC. Go ahead, BC.
you know what when I see Giannis, I just think of how Luka Doncic was so isolated in his team, and that's how they went out. I don't know what Porzingis was doing, but everyone just isolated. Like Luka Doncic, just do your thing, Doncic. Score 40. We're still going to beat you. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of
You truly hate to
similarities.
see it. Yeah, man. This is about it. I'm about to close the stream, and thank you guys for coming onto the panel. It's a pleasure. You're always invited. The next stream will be on Monday evening after this same time. And yeah, man, all that great stuff, man. Thank you guys. And you guys, you're free to leave at your own pleasure.
Yeah, man.
thank you for being here. Thank you.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man. Had fun. Yeah, man. Had fun, man. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Moses. Thanks, BC.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. And that's that. I mean, I still root for them Bucks. I feel like they're gonna win Game 3. I just hope that Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday just find they just fight their inner demons, to come back to win this Game 3, and also hopefully they can use the momentum to swing to Game 4. And I'll be waiting. I'll just be waiting there to see them win. And I still root for the Bucks. I'm not giving up on them guys. And yeah, man. So if you guys like the stream. If you guys wanna join the stream, I'll be I've already dropped the link on the stream yard. Every time I'll be going live, I'll be dropping the stream link. You guys can join me on the panel. Can cam up, can chop it up a bit, and yeah, man, just share different opinion, different perspectives on what you're seeing in the game, and yeah, we did all that great stuff, man. If you guys like the stream, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notification posts so that you never miss any videos or next streams that I'm dropping. And with all that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.